We're knocking on the door here. This door was open when we were out. They barricaded themselves inside, screwed it in from the inside. There's no one entering. Fully barricaded. We left a 24-hour notice. Just it's noted that the people inside are not complying with the 24-hour notice that we. He's speaking from the inside, saying that he refuses to open the door. You are breaking into my property. You leave my property. He's being threatening. No, I'm not. You're being threatened. You're trying to break into my property. Again, this is. I'm recording this. I have COVID-19 tomorrow. You should leave. You're harming yourself. So he's. You want me to come? Yes, please come out. Please come out. Okay, come on out. Here's a moratorium. What are you doing? Breaking the law. Please leave my property. He left a 24-hour notice. He's refused to leave. Who you are. That's crazy. We're the new owners. We spoke to you before. We've seen each other in person. He's being very threatening at this point. So he's refusing. Again, we left him a 24-hour notice. Profanity. He's saying that, as you can hear them fucking sing. He's throwing stuff. He's being very threatening. No, not. You're going to break into my house. You're trying to break into my house. On the company. You're going to jail, asshole. Please come out. Please open the door. Get off my property. You're breaking and entering. Please. There's two people in the house. There's a female and a male. Hello? Whatsoever. There's nothing. There's just people trying to break into our house.